Yeah, I just don't get it, because nobody seems to actually make real transactions with it. And my friend who's really into crypto for years told me,
you get kidnapped, you're going to wish you had a wallet.
Apparently not, because I don't think they've gotten the money.
There's a guy, you want to know the latest on that? There's been happenings in the Guthrie kidnapping.
Whisperings.
So as of today, they recovered that black and white sort of thermal looking footage from the door camera. Today they had the timestamp for when that happened, and like 5 miles away and like 19 minutes before that, there's a guy that looks just like the kidnapper with the same bag and the same clothes, like doing some stuff behind a house, caught on camera there, and they blurred his face because they're not sure yet, but it's like, that's the guy. Like
they get him.
I think they've got his face.
But they put a guy in custody, and then
that guy got released. That guy, this is a different guy that's caught on camera at a residence, like I said, 5 miles away.
This time, it's the guy
for sure.
Well, I don't know who they detained before, but this guy has the backpack with the reflective stripes on the front and the same pants and the same shirt. And he's a white guy without a mask on. And he's taking the backpack and concealing it like behind a wall on camera.
Did they know who he is? Do they have this guy?
They have the picture. They have that video. As far as I know, that's all they've got. But they haven't released a lot. On the other side of the thing, there's someone contacting TMZ and the family and saying, we know who took her. We know who did it. We will reveal the name for 1 Bitcoin. We are afraid of being drugged through the mud the same way you did that gardener. We don't want to be known as a national rat. We need this money to lay low if this thing goes the wrong way. This is what they're saying. And the first message, and then they messaged again. This is our last message. If you want to know who did this, send me 1 Bitcoin and then the guy at TMZ, it's the main head honcho of TMZ. You may have seen him with like a short sleeve shirt. He's kind of muscled up dude. He's like, and I won't go into what he says might happen, but it's a bit grotesque. Like, and what I read from that was that the message said, send me the money. She's going to be dead soon if like you don't save her, like basically something like that. So that's the latest that I've heard as of like 5 p.m. today, but it seems like the wheels are turning. I said as soon as they had that footage of him, even though he's got the ski mask on, the balaclava or whatever, like just his build, his gait, like the shape of his body, like all that stuff, and that clothing he's wearing was going to lead to something. They're going to get this guy.
Did they release the picture of his face?
No, it's blurred.
I don't know. They have a less blurred picture.
They censored. They applied a blur to his face. It seems like they would have a pretty good profile of his face, like a 3/4 shot. Like
seems like if they show his face, they'll know who this guy is in an hour.
I think that they don't want to. They don't want to accuse like someone who was just taking the garbage out or something like that. I think because they already have probably civil suits incoming because of they mistreated some gardener or something, and they arrested some other guy under. It wasn't him. Who knows why or
remember that Atlanta security guard who didn't put the bomb there? I forget his name, but I bet you know it.
It's important to know it because is it that Clint Eastwood made a whole movie of
the fat guy Richard Jewell.
Richard Jewell, right?
Yeah.
Richard Jewell in the 1996 Atlanta Olympics, I believe. He's a security guard. He sees a suspicious package. He radios it in, makes a big deal of it, clears the crowd. If it had been a bomb, it was a bomb, I think. They were able to come in, I think, and defuse the bomb. If not for Richard Jewell, then a bomb goes off in Centennial Olympic Park, very populated area, and like maybe dozens die. He's the hero, right? No. They can't find the guy who did this. The guy who did it, I believe his name is Edward Robert Rudolph. He had done a string of bombings. He bombed some abortion clinics in the Southeast. I think maybe Alabama, Mississippi, somewhere like that. He ended up hiding out in the North Carolina woods, maybe South Carolina hills, something like that. They caught him a few years later, scrounging through dumpsters. It was a big news story when they finally caught him. But in the interim, they were running Richard Jewell's name through the fucking gutter on every news channel. The feds were pressuring him. And it was awful the way they treated the hero. Like he was the guy who saved the lives. He was the point man who had no business being he was just some chubby security guard. He wasn't he thought he might break up a fight that day, or like tell someone they can't sit on the fountain edge.
You can't loiter at the Orange Julius.
He's that guy. He's a mall cop, but he saved the fucking day like he's John McClane, and then they ruined his life. Like I said, there's a whole Clint Eastwood movie about it.
What happens to him in the end? Does he get famous? Well, he's famous, but does he get rich?
I don't know his story. I would hope that he wrote a book that made him at least enough money to not have to worry about his ruined name and the deal, just the stress and humiliation that he got ran through, all those false accusations.
The show had to really reduce the false accusations, right? Like, because most people had no idea who that guy was, up from down until they made the show.
Well, it's a movie. It's a Clint Eastwood movie that they made about him, but it was national news at the time. Like we were hearing about Richard Jewell every day on TV. It was all over the news about this guy they caught. They got him. They got the guy. It turns out that the security guard may be involved. They were trying to make him a terrorist.
This reminds me of, did you guys ever watch that show on Apple TV I recommended a couple of years ago, Blackbird? I think Woody would like it. I know you would like it, Kyle. It's about a prisoner who goes to jail, and there's a suspected serial killer in the jail already. They make a deal with the guy who's there on drugs to try and befriend and coax confessions out of the prospective serial killer, because they can't get anything hard on the guy, but they really think it's him, and he's locked up. It's very, very good.
So they send someone undercover?
No, they convince a guy who's being sent on drug charges, a totally different guy, that you need to befriend this weirdo. And if you get a confession out of him on these things and you can prove it, then we are going to dramatically reduce your drug sentence and you'll be out of here, back to normal life on probation.
Okay.
If not, if you can't get this confession, then you're going to spend your whole 35-year sentence for hard drugs. And it's very good. Blackbird, I think it's on Apple TV.
It
does a good job, because you don't know, like the crux of it is, as the viewer, you don't know whether or not the guy who's kind of a fat, goofy outsider who they think is the serial killer, you don't know if he is or not. And there's a lot of evidence this way and that. And so it's not easy to nail down. But wanted to mention this earlier, but I read a book last night. I read Running Man, and that is a book that I had heard of it as a movie. I didn't even know that was a Stephen King book. Oh, yeah. It's a super quick read.
Is it part of a larger book of stories? Like is it a novella amongst many in a thicker book, or was it solo?
No, I just had this. I just bought the solo book at like this half price books store the other day. It's only like 350 pages, not very long. And the way it's structured, there's like a giant, like 87 and counting, and like there's a countdown throughout the book that takes up a good bit of every chapter page, so it's not even as long as you would think with 350 pages. Man, that is the coolest, like funnest concept ever.